What's good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle. Nadeska, Wayno, and Academics are here. Hope you guys found a way to have a really nice weekend. Yesterday was Academics' birthday. Today there would usually be a lot of henny and cake and drunk speeches. We can't do that this year, but what did you do yesterday, Ac? Happy belated.
Hey, listen, man, I'm growing up. I am growing up. Well, actually, I had a very quiet birthday yesterday. You know, I usually take time on my birthday, just like, I'm so selfish. I'm the guy who, if I go out, it's like everybody else's fun instead of like my fun. So I kind of like stay secluded. But yesterday I just kind of, did some grown up things, and really just took some time to myself like I normally do every single day. So
does it sound like he's bullshitting Wayno or not? He just did some grown up things.
I think that he just didn't have anything else to do, so he was forced to do some grown up stuff. But did you take some time to reflect?
No, of course I do. Honestly, like I'm usually like super flattered about even the people who like be like, hey, listen, like a lot of words of kindness. I think that matters to me. Once you get past like 28, or hopefully you could take care of yourself by then, you don't care about gifts and shit like that. You care about like, yo, have you made impact on people enough that they can show you appreciations on days like this?
I agree.
Look at mature academics. What a beautiful thing. All right, well, did you take time out of your birthday weekend to watch Nelly versus Luda? So, of course, they went at it in verses over the weekend. About 475,000 people tuned in while they went back and forth. But Nelly did have some technical issues due to his Wi-Fi, unfortunately. But overall, what did you guys think of this battle?
Come on, academics. You picked Nelly. Come on, academics. I need to hear what you say.
Okay. Well, hold on now. Hold on. Here's the thing, man. And we have to. That's why I kept telling you. I said this a couple times. And I probably didn't get it right because obviously, a lot of people, it seems like Luda kind of got the whole thing. Hey, your Wi-Fi really determines a lot, man. I'm telling you, I don't think Nelly recovered from the Wi-Fi. It's not even from so much of the music, but it was super good. It was super, like we missed a lot of stories he was telling in the beginning. And I'm not gonna lie, because people thought this was a babyface Teddy Riley thing early, they're like, oh man, say it ain't so. Especially with the connection thing, I think it gave Luda like a kind of unfair advantage. He played like unreleased songs. He's dropping songs with Chance, dropping songs with Wayne. Like, god damn it, you know what I mean? So all in all, I'll say this. Even beyond that, I don't want to be the person who said, nah, he only won because of that. Luda's music, like, it surprised me how it hit, and like in terms of some of the songs that Nelly was playing to like come back at it. I don't know, man. Like, listen.
Man. Go ahead,
I ride for Nelly,
but
I do have to say, Luda with his execution, I think he was just like, yo, he like the performance level of the hit for hit. He had the afro out. Come on, man, you can't be the nigga like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, overall,
Nelly had to bring out a Band-Aid. He had to bring out a Band-Aid.
Bro. I mean, overall, it just goes to show you that like they were virtually really close in their careers, but like the X factor of Luda winning, I think, is that he just got better rapping records. But you know what it was? What put him over was that Made You Look remix, yo. The Made You Look remix, that was it. Because the thing about Nelly has a ton of great songs, but he doesn't have something that could combat that. He has nothing that could combat that.
Well, I'll also say, I think, a lot of Luda's joints age better.
Right.
They age better, and I thought it wouldn't. But the thing with Nelly is that he had like that kind of sound, and it was within a time period that, of course, we know the big standout hits, the Hot in Hairs and a couple others, but then you still remember that sound throughout the rest of the songs, while like Luda was dropping some shit that they were just impactful. Like, you're like, oh shit, you know what I mean? And you were kind of hearing like pretty much the same sound a bit with Nelly for most of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Yo, it's just amazing how they had like two massive careers. Like, after because I didn't, I'm not a numbers guy in that sense. The way I was checking on it, but when I seen like their numbers, it's insane how many records they both sold. You know what I mean? And I mean, their music impacted time. I think that both of them just got a bunch of timeless records, but like Ludacris, I always felt like Ludacris was gonna have the edge. It's going around now that people think I don't like St. Louis or something. That's not true at all.
Wow, because of the Nelly conversation?
Yeah.
It's true.
No, it's not
John
true.
Side of the St. Louis artist, he faded him. That's why it is.
Nah, man, I super love the St. Louis, man. But yeah, it was just dope. Like that was knowing that was dope.
Oh, and another thing I'll throw in there with Luda, I think he had more club joints. You had more club joints that kind of rang. That was a little bit more impactful, man.
But wait a minute. So before, when you picked,
it was a little
Nelly,
harder, man.
Did you
like
forget,
it was just like
you forgot about all these things. I'm confused.
He definitely forgot.
No. I forgot like 8-10 joints.
Okay.
I forgot 8-10 joints.
8-10. All right.
I forgot 8-10 joints. Like, yeah.
But you know what's really interesting about this? Even with forgetting 8-10 joints, it's probably like 12 more joints that he didn't play that could have rang off crazy too.
That's nuts.
And also, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Luda took the serious, man. I think he, you ever watch? He kind of is tied to the Fast and Furious series. This thing came prepared like it was going title for title, like they might have it like a race. I think he kind of rehearsed. If Nelly drops this, I'm gonna drop this, cause I only saw him literally waste one round where he's like, I'm gonna give you that.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna give you that. Everything else was like he was throwing hits back at hits. You know what I mean? And sometimes you gotta like space it out.
All right. Well, it was a great music weekend. This weekend we also got one of the biggest rap releases so far of the year. Future dropped his 8th album, High Off Life. 21 tracks on this one. Features from Young Thug, Lil Durk, Travis Scott, and more. This is the follow-up to his 2019 EP, Save Me, which I think you both really liked. Of course, Life is Good is one of the lead singles. What did you guys think of the full project?
Is Future back? I want to know for you, is Future back? Because when he dropped Wizard, he was pretty much on the fence. So I need to know where you at with Future with it. I need to know.
I had a very deep intellectual conversation yesterday.
Okay.
Future.
Wow.
You see, they ain't gonna like me say this, but I'm telling you the facts.
Oh, here you go.
I know that's what I gotta say. Like, if anybody see this on the internet, watch the whole clip. Like, this is a disclaimer. Remember around Wizard? That's when Future kind of came out and told us, you see all these drugs I be rapping about? I don't even take them shits. For real. That's when he came out and said that. I think Future has realized that, to be honest, that's part of the his content hasn't matured enough where niggas want to hear him talk about being in love and all that type of stuff. Even though he kind of lightly sprinkled a few little lines about his situation with Lori. But I think we're seeing OG Future, man. Like, he has some joints on here. When you say his Future back, I'm thinking 2015, 2016, the Future hype. They'll never be back. They'll never be back. You get me? But I think this was a good effort. I think this is a good OG effort. I don't know if we'll ever see that momentum again from Future. But one thing we can't knock with him, and that's why he'll always be around, for what people don't give him credit enough for, is that he's still a good songwriter.
Right.
He knows kind of like the right beats to pick. The song with him and Youngboy and that little trap ballad shit that they be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's one of the pioneers in that. I thought the song with him and Youngboy was that was my favorite, the Trillionaires joint. Mm-hmm. And you get to realize there's a bunch of stellar joints on there. So I would say this is his best project since
Wizard.
No, since Hendrix.
Since Hendrix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you got to remember, we had a couple forgettable joints in there too, because remember he did a little duo tape with
with Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD. Also, he did a duo tape with Young Thug as well. So I think it's a super stellar. But is it another wave? Nah.
Another wave. I mean, this is the thing. Academics lost faith in Future for a bit.
Wait, did you guys not like that EP? I feel like I remember you guys having a very emotional conversation about this EP last year.
The thing was that I liked Wizard. Act didn't like Wizard. I said that Wizard, you had to keep listening to it and it would grow on you, right? Now, no, I don't think it's at the top of Future's catalog, but Wizard is a good album, right? Now, when he came out with Save Me, Act was like, yeah, I need the emotional, heart-wrenching, gut-turning Future. That's what Act was like, all right, I fuck with Future again. Not that he wasn't fucking with him, but he was just saying, he's kind of reeling me back in. So for this one, I don't think that it's like Act said, I don't think it'll ever get back to the, 56 Nights, Beast Mode, Future. That was a point in time, but I think that, musically he's matured. Like the beats, like Act said, the beats are getting, I wouldn't say that they're just necessarily better. It just seems like the beats fit more of the style that he's using now. It's not as direct as it was before. But my favorite joint over there is Pray for a Brick. I like the Trillionaire joint. Of course I like Harlem Shake, even though I ain't like Thug on it, because that's going around too. People hate Thug's verse. People hate Thug's verse on that joint. But overall, I think that this is a good project. I didn't expect Future to give us another Dirty Sprite 2.
I'm gonna go even one further with my analysis of this album. Right, I think if he had 16 tracks, we're saying, damn, Future's back.
So
A little bit, there's a little bit more than meat. There's a little bit of fat to this album. Like, if we really get down to the bare bones, just straight white meat type of shit with it, like, he could have cut like 5-6 tracks, and I think that would make it more stellar, because for some of the joints you're like, okay, this is dope. You hear other joints and be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I still have a very positive outlook of the album, but those joints kind of dilute the whatever about it. And by the way, even going back to that Wizard thing, I think Future knows the content we want. Like that's why I love that Save Me shit, because first of all, I do like what he sings. Like, come on, man, when Future starts singing, like, he's pouring out his heart. But when it gets to, like, this project, Future's he's not dumb. He sees all the memes. Everybody sees, he's the king of misogyny, like this king of toxicity. He sees it and he gives us, he delivers. You feel me? And I think honestly, he's at that point where maybe the wave doesn't like happen, like where we're just kind of all experiencing it, but he's giving us good music, so I fuck with it.
Okay.
All right, on that note, then, you want to take us through some numbers? You definitely have a lot of releases the past few weeks.
I can't wait for him to take us through some numbers.
This is good. The most exciting numbers segment of all time.
I can't wait. Come on,
academic.
Because you know who got the number one. You know who got the number one album. I got a question about that.
Wait, no. Could I get into the segment? I'm just saying.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to give a lot of credit.
Make sure you say his name right.
No, this is my segment.
Sorry.
Can I get into the segment?
Okay.
I just want to give a lot of credit. This person's actually really been through a lot, and like, to be honest, they did have a big debut, despite what I said about it or not. You get me? But I'm super proud of this person. An album about resilience, and I gotta say, this new Kalani album's fire. You know what I mean? So Kalani debut at number 2. Hold on, man. Hold up.
Go ahead.
She's actually the number 1 R&B album in the country this week.
Wow,
she was number 2 overall on the charts. Hold on, I'm gonna get to everything. Just let me chill.
I've never heard you start at number 2 before, but it was good until it wasn't. Is a phenomenal album. Go check that out.
Like,
Carry on.
Like, it's a different day. Drake actually, with Dark Lane demo on his second week, he actually did like 80,000 pretty much. Lil Baby right after doing, by the way, keep in mind, Lil Baby dropped the deluxe, did 100, and now he's doing about like 72. And we did have Dirk, who appeared on our show, like, was it last week or the week before? I can't remember. I'm losing track of time.
Stop stalling.
He so funny. He sold 57,000, and he's gonna be at number 5 now. You got to address the elephant in the room. The number 1 album was Navaraj, okay? With good intentions. Navaraj.
There's no A there. There's no extra A.
Hold on. No, but this is where we're getting deep into the numbers. Now, y'all want to get deep? Y'all want to do it? Let's do it, okay?
Let's do it.
He was the only person on this week's album chart to sell more T-shirts than he sold albums, okay? He sold 135 in totality. He sold, from what my actually, according to Billboard, like 76,000 T-shirts and like 67,000 albums. But here's the thing. I can't hate the player. I gotta hate the game. I saluted Travis Scott for the same thing, so I'm gonna salute Navaraj for that as well. So, good intentions. It did debut number 1. For whatever it's worth, he did drop a deluxe like 2 days after the original. So in reality, he did drop like 34 tracks. Just kind of putting it out there.
Stop it. Just if the man has the number 1 album, and I just want to know, because
I just think it's a lot of finessing, man.
Listen.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm not mad at him, because I can't hate the player.
You gotta hate the game. But academics, you sound like
I think the bundles are getting out of hand.
Oh, now they out of hand.
They're getting a little bit out of hand. No, hold on. Now, if we really want to continue, the reason, and we just saw this reason why, and we talk about it. The reason why Drake wasn't number 1 last week is because of a bundle finesse. I think it's getting out of hand to regulate it. And also, I read this. It was an astounding stat to me. They said on the last day of tracking, Nav put up like 110 things on his little shopping cart that were not music. that were tied to an album, and I'm like, hey, anytime you allow bundles, and I do think bundles are important, but it could definitely be manipulated. But anyway, congratulations to Nav.
Congratulations
to Nav.
Did you give the album a listen, Academics?
No, I didn't. I'll give you a
Just a quick yeah. Give me a
3-second review.
Quick little review.
The only song worth hearing that has Nav on it is Turks.
Oh,
everything else, garbage.
Right.
I don't know why you even asked. Why would you even ask?
No.
Because
second of all,
listen, go ahead.
No, second of all, yo, Nav album actually slaps if you listen to the version without him. Oh my God, there's a version like
that. All right, let's move on. Yeah, wow, he said if you listen to the version without him, are you
There's
done?
a version without him, it's fire.
How's there a version of his album without him? Okay, I don't even want to know. Don't even answer the question. How about this next thing? You mentioned it before. So, according to a report from Complex, Drake fans, maybe Academics is one of them, are really still upset that Dark Lane demo tapes did not debut at number 1. So it came in at number 2 because a country singer by the name of Kenny Chesney bundled. So he was selling concert tickets with this project. But here's the thing. Obviously, everything is postponed. So a few days after he got the number 1 spot, he officially postponed his tour from 2020 to 2021, which is an amazing finesse. Is this too much? Is this too far? How is he even allowed to keep bundling it, knowing that there are no concerts probably happening for the rest of the year?
That's crazy. I mean, Did you get any information on this?
I was doing my thing in this weekend. But hold on. Right. I think we should probably start this conversation off.
With what?
Okay. You know me. I'm a numbers guy. I do reports every week, whether it's on Twitter, Instagram, elsewhere, or here, about projections and even final sales. Do you think that it's a little bit, misleading when people see a sales number and it's really just other stuff, whether it's tour tickets? And by the way, I'm not that mad at that because at least that's a music event. But a lot of times, and shit, we got to bring back Travis into this. Like, Nikki, we hold you down today. We fighting your fight that we once shamed you for. It's all good. Okay, call us a hypocrite. But if someone's selling a bunch of T-shirts and socks that isn't really music related, they're selling clothes essentially. Mm-hmm. They're basically at Macy's. Is it a little bit misleading if we're reporting those as sales?
Well, so before we answer that, one of our fans did ask a question. Just want to encourage you guys to keep sending this. So they said, I hope y'all are going to talk about this on the show because they say bundling is a fraudulent act. 1, you're not selling music. 2, items purchased aren't always delivered. I don't know that. And 3, what happens when an artist bundles a tour and it gets canceled? So he's talking about Kenny Chesney in this situation. So fraudulent, that's a very strong word here. But of course, if everyone's doing it, go ahead.
I think fraudulent is like a bit far, only because, music is not physical anymore, right? Music hasn't been physical for a while. Like, we don't use CDs, tapes. I mean, vinyls, collector's items. A lot of people buy vinyls just to have them as like an art piece in the crib. But when we praise Travis for this, right? Like, giving a physical experience to the album. Everybody, like, everybody's not a merch seller. That's the biggest thing. I think when Nicki didn't work was because we didn't really look at Nicki to sell T-shirts. We just looked at her as an artist.
She was selling fanny packs. I'm sorry. I'm a little too gangster for that. I can't read it.
But with Travis, Travis is like the hip hop version of Supreme. Like, he could put Cactus Jack on anything and kids is gonna bug out. So if we go and praise Travis for it, but we gonna try to shit on Nav slightly, Academics, then where are we at with the whole situation? I don't know how to I wouldn't call it fraudulent.
Okay, so I think it's a gray area and a fine line, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'll go back to Navaraj, right? It's like it's V-Lone T-shirts. If you are within the culture of hip hop, V-Lone sells out like this, right, with or without music being attached. Let's be very clear,
right?
So again, a drop on a weekend, right? That is like is customized by this top designer is gonna do numbers. I only look at it to say, you said the musical experience. Sometimes it doesn't connect, and like some people are just selling shirts. What I'm saying is that right, V-Lone shirt, people are probably, the music is so ancillary, they might not even redeem that code. that they get as a free download. They might not even check the music out. I understand if they do. But if people only buy the t-shirt and you're getting credit for the music, you use it almost like it's misleading data, if you ask me.
Well,
and I think I was talking to one of those, like my two industry friends, okay? And I think for that particular person, he said to me, it was like, it only becomes a little bit worrisome where you're seeing the final sales be more of other stuff than the music. I get that people don't buy music, but if Kanye sold 900,000 Yeezys and 50,000 albums, but the album was just packaged underneath the bottom of the sole of the Yeezys, wouldn't you say a little bit misleading?
I wouldn't be mad at that, only because it's one of the. See, the thing is that we accept that experience from certain artists. If Kanye does it, Kanye's brand is tied to everything. Most of the people that go to his concerts are wearing Yeezys. You know what I mean? They're wearing the apparel. So if it's all counting together, think also music is $10 a month. You don't have to actually physically buy the music as it is. Now, if we look at the streaming services and we talk about, all right, these streams equivalent. It takes what, 1,500 or 20? Not 1,500, 12,050 streams to count as one, right? Sometimes 1,350. That's unfair to the artist, to me. Like, that's unfair to the artist to me. And of course, so? only because it's like, okay, when I look at a record do 100-something million and it only counts for 70-something, I feel like that's a bit unfair. So even though they should have a lot, they make a lot of money from it. Because I seen, what was it, Russ put up his numbers, right? I feel like, he should be entitled to more sales than fucking 76,000 off of a song that streams 100-something million times. And while he did make good money, I would like to see him make more as supporting the artist. So if Kanye is going to drop a Yeezy that's packaged with an album, I'm not against that, but that's part of his brand. Travis the same way. Nav not so much, but the game is the game. So how do we fight that? Or do we fight it even?
So when I'm hearing from you, and I understand, I think you're looking at it from a manager's perspective, is the sales don't necessarily become music sales. It becomes what your brand could push, essentially. Whether, okay, cool, you're a great performer, so they want to see you tour. Let's sell that, right? And here's the thing, and I think Billboard's super new to this. Like, that's one of the reasons Nicki got them back in the day, and I think they're making adjustments now. I just figured this out this weekend. Somebody gave me some tidbits of information. They're like, here's the thing with bundles, right? The thing with iTunes is that you can't have one person, because record sales would be crazy. If one person could be like, I like my artist so much, $200 I'm buying 200 singles, or here's $500 I'm buying 50 albums. No, it limits you one per person. With merch, they allow you to buy whatever. So like Billboard just adjusted it to say, if you purchase more than 4 of the same item, you're now a distributor rather than a customer, because you're probably going to sell that again. So it doesn't count those sales, because it was seeing chunks of, this was 300 bought by, and now to some people they're like, too much information, but it matters in numbers manipulation. A number one means a lot. And I'll say who's probably mad today. The Kalani fans, because when Nav's album came out the first day, it was supposed to be very close with Kalani. Of course, Kalani didn't have really attractive bundles, and also didn't drop pretty much a second album midweek to just get it to where Nav stuff is at. But I could imagine her fans, I don't think she cares that much, because she still did good. But they probably could feel like they got robbed a little bit.
I think Kalani, like, what speaks volumes for Kalani is that she's doing it purely just off music, So that is dope to see that, she's getting her fans excited just off the music. I mean, like, all the number shit is fun, but ultimately you got to have good music in order to sell it.
Yeah.
And I think Kalani accomplished that,
Tomorrow we're going to talk about Bieber and Kalani, by the way. That was interesting. Let us end with this, because I think we only have a couple minutes left, just because we talked about this a lot last week and we want to clear it up. So Swiss Beats was recently having a conversation with LL Cool J, where he said that his whole his comments about having taxes paid to the hip-hop founders was misunderstood. He said he just wants to start a pioneer fund where founders of hip-hop are getting taken care of, just like people in other cultures do. He said that is a dream of his, so maybe we misconstrued a little bit here, but still good intentions.
Not I, because that's what I thought it was.
Not
But then
I.
I also seen, now I seen like 21 Savage jumping at comments to say he would be down, you know. So and that was one of the artists that I thought would say that they would want to be a part of that. So you know, I think like Swiss says, you know, just take care of the ones that did it before us, because without them, what are we? So
Yeah, I mean, I kind of got that as well. I was just arguing on who should pay the tab. You feel me? I just feel like you're tax the labels. But anyway, I will say this though. I did see other opinions that I thought was interesting, and it also shows that while someone like 21 might be like, "Yo, he completely gets it," and of course, you know, he has a lot of respect for like the founders and like the pioneers of this culture that's helped him, you know, take care of his family and do a lot more great things in the world. I saw some people was like, yo, so some of these old niggas that used to be that be hating on us new niggas, now they want us to like hold it down. And I do think there's a slight, I'm not saying this is like a very popular opinion, that people are looking at like, yo, hey, it's kind of like the old basketball players talking about, wait, Damian Lillard got 300 million? Like, and
Yes.
because in his career he only made like 15, right? And I think there's almost like the new dudes are like, well, that's what you get for like making fun of me.
But you know what? It kills me with that. The new dudes don't even like the other new dudes. So what the fuck are we talking about? Like, they don't even like each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Give them 10
Shit,
more
that's true.
years. So when the sales dry up, they might change their mind. We'll
Right.
see. All right, y'all.
Hey,
Final thoughts?
I just want,
Go ahead.
oh,
Happy
No, I
birthday,
was-
academics.
oh no, I appreciate that. No, I was just only saying on that last topic, like I want to see who other than 21 volunteers to get their paycheck deducted. You get me? Because that's when you start taking out of people's money, that's when you see their true colors. Besides that, you know, I just want to be a man of integrity,
Oh, God.
a man who is of clean heart, and I want to, because I don't like Wayno
Integrity.
or anyone else, you know, painting me out to be like some type of hater. Navaraj, I salute you for finessing.
Are
the
you saying his
system.
name
I would-
correctly?
Yo, look, for finessing the system. Instead of just saying he salutes him for having the #1 album, academics, you paint yourself as the hater weekly, daily, monthly, minutely, if that's a
No.
word.
He
Whatever.
gave you the Obama
You
hands for
pick.
that one.
You know what I'm saying? Academics, this is you. You are the hater, and I love it. Thank you, my guy. Salute. Nav has the #1 album. Let's leave it at that.
Shout out to Naf. Should we end on this note? I think there's
Let's
enough
end on
said
that
now.
note.
Hey man, thank you guys for watching Everyday Struggle. We're gonna be back here tomorrow. See you guys later.
Peace, yeah.
Oh wait! Oh
What?
man!
What? Go ahead. We're still rolling. Go.
Are we still rolling?
Of course we're
Yes,
rolling.
still rolling. What?
Oh man! Nobody even brought it up. You know I'm credited on one of Nav's songs.
Stop
Yes,
Nav credit. I promise you.
he is.
Nav has a song. It was supposed to be a troll, but nobody really cares about Nav like that to really catch on. He credited me, Livingston Allen, aka DJ Academics, on a song called Brown Boy. Okay? And it was a song that he was writing from, quote unquote, his haters' perspective. Except, I'm not a hater, but fine, cool, whatever. Anyway, he credited me. And just like Safari wrote for Nicki, allegedly, I need mine from Nav. I'm getting my lawyer on the case. You not gonna credit me and think I'm not going for the bag?
Send that in there. Send
No.
it in.
I ain't hating that much. Let's secure this bag.
Send it in.
I'm hitting the stop button now. That's enough. Yo, we'll see you guys
No, I think
tomorrow.
he was trying to troll me. He can't troll me.